I will say one thing, and that is that while I think that regional accents are very important, they're part of our culture, they're part of our identity, it's one thing if you are going out and talking with people from your in-group, with your friends at the pub or wherever, because your regional accent allows you to share humour and understand each other much better. But nowadays, in an international context, it doesn't really work, and I think we all need to learn not to speak perfect Queen's English, but to speak very clearly, to be able to communicate with other cultures. And I can see a time in the future when maybe Germans and Italians will be able to do business together more easily with their English that they have learnt correctly, rather than somebody arriving and speaking with a very strong regional accent.
Yeah, because people often have two accents, and it's not just in Britain. I mean, I remember in the United States once, I was on a shuttle bus at JFK Airport or something, and there were basically some black guys who worked at the airport, and they would be sort of talking to each other in the sort of local rap speak, I guess, and then a lady asked them for directions, and they immediately switched to sort of polite American, say, "Yes, ma'am, it's over there," and it was quite amazing. I think the English do that as well.
I used to do that at school, because I went to a school that wasn't particularly nice, and if I had gone there speaking like I speak now, as my mother insisted I should speak, they probably would have beaten me up or something. So I used to go to school and speak really rough and talk like that, and then go home and say, "Oh, hello, mother, I'm home," and speak really nicely at home.
Well, you're not alone. Apparently David Gower, the English cricket captain in the 1980s, he used to sort of talk like that to the teammates, and then with his mummy he'd speak very nicely. Yes. And whenever she saw him interviewed on television, she couldn't believe that this was her own son.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's probably where Mockney comes from, when a lot of rock stars, I think Mick Jagger is famous for speaking Mockney, when he probably naturally was quite well spoken, as we say, and yet because he wanted to be a cool rock star, would speak with a fake Cockney accent. And the difference is with Mockney that although he'll talk like that and talk with the accent, he doesn't make grammatical mistakes. Whereas maybe a real Cockney would say something like, Cockney being the slang from London, a real Cockney would say, "I don't know nothing," which is incorrect, and Mick Jagger would say, I don't know anything, because it was, innate for him to say it correctly.
Well, another example is Jamie Oliver, the cook, who has done this great career because he's sort of not a snob like all the other celebrity chefs, and he talks like that, and everybody thinks he's genuine because he talks like that. But in actual fact, he also comes from a very middle class and twee background.
Really?
And a few years ago, I happened to meet, without wishing to name drop, a guy who'd grown up in the same village as Jamie Oliver, and they were childhood friends, and the guy talked just as we are talking
now.
now.
Oh, really?